folks never really got to socialize with some of the other folks. They never get to meet them unless they meet them at a service event. Of course, during COVID, we didn't do any events, so nobody met anybody. So back, when I started, it seemed like we would have these meet and greets. So I'm going to ask everybody to take 3 to 5 minutes and stand up and go visit with somebody that you've never met with, or it's been a while since you've talked to them, just kind of a fellowship time. And then at the conclusion, I'll ring the bell to let you know to return to your seats. And at that time, John will come up and lead us in prayer. What's that? John Brown will now come up and do the invocation and the pledge. Please remain standing.
Good morning, everyone. Let's pray. Almighty and ever-loving God, we give you thanks and praise for all the blessings you have poured upon us. Keep our families safe, strengthen our friendships, bless those we love, and take those we have raised up to you today into your firm embrace. Reveal the needs of your world to us so that we may help others in ways that bring you glory. Help us always to strive for service above self. Show all the nations of this world your way to peace. All these things we ask in your name. Amen. Amen. Let's pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now the anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, it's that time to share what you're happy about this week. Share joyful news and donation. I think,
Or yes.
no, that was, actually, I have Happy Bucks next.
Okay, the Happy Bucks is going to be.
Yeah, Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah. I'll give that to Scott. There you go.
Anybody got any happy news to share? Jeff Brady.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. My wife and I celebrated 20 years of mostly wedded bliss on Wednesday, and I'm surviving and glad to tell about it. So I'm very happy about that.
Good job. Happy days. Sarah? Oh. So in my ongoing effort to show up Jeff Brady, which really isn't that hard to do, now not much, 46 years, and I'm talking nothing but bliss. If you've met her, you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm happy to announce that I'm heading to the lake, and it is currently 73 degrees, and we'll be there for 2 weeks. And we will also be celebrating our 26th wedding anniversary during that time.
What lake is it 73 degrees at?
It's in northern Wisconsin, so you got to travel.
I was going to say, it's got to be way north. Anybody else? Richard?
Karen Ferris. Oh, Richard, go ahead.
I'm just happy to be in an air-conditioned room.
Me too, thank you. Karen?
And I'm happy that CC Colley is here today with us. Well, I heard a rumor that he might be having a significant birthday later this year, but nobody would believe it, CC. Nobody would believe it.
Holly.
Holly? Hi, Susie.
Is that 70
I'm sorry, I have to brag about this because it's so unusual. My son just finished walking from the entire Hadrian's Wall from the east coast of England to the west coast. He did it in 5 days. He had an amazing adventure, hiked it all by himself. I was so proud of him. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Anybody else?
Great. At this time, we are going to introduce our guests.
Go ahead.
Keep the mic. Yeah, there you go.
I'd like to introduce Susanna Gibb. She's from Lake Highlands and is in insurance, and it's her first time attending, so please make her feel welcome.
I'd like to introduce, and really, Sandra doesn't need an introduction to a lot of you guys, but for the you Newton members, this is Sandra Lyons, the widow of High Lion, who's a past president of our club. Sandra's visited us a number of times. She's always welcome here. And Mike, you were a former Rotarian here for a while, right? Good to see you again.
Great, thank you. Speak by Go ahead, Paul.
I would like to introduce some visiting Rotarians from India. They're actually going to introduce themselves, and they have a presentation for us.
Thank you, Paul. I am Narendra Pal Singh Bakshi, and she's part of my name, Indrapal Kaur Bakshi. Just NAR is different. Okay, we are from Rotary Club of Pune. It is a city in Pune near Mumbai in India. That's why I'm giving you a reference, because Mumbai is very, very popular. Our club, I belong to a club which is 86-year-old and has hovering strength of 100 members. Sometimes it's 1 or 2 less, sometimes 1 or 2 more, but 86 years we have been maintaining that level of membership. Being an old club, I think it's 3rd club in India, when India had huge borders. And we have been into our community projects. Of late, our signature projects are watershed management and holistic village developments. So we are going into rural areas, interiors of the villages, in hilly terrain there, and where they have lots of rain, but within 2-3 months, they exhaust, they don't have water to drink also. So in spite of having heavy rains and feeding all over the urban area with the water which they have it in their areas, but they don't get. So we are working, we have 8 projects going on now, and that's how our club is, that's our club signature. I feel proud to share with you the nomination committee election procedure was brainchild of a Rotary Club of Pune, which has been accepted and taken up by RI, the nomination committee. That was a brainchild of our club. And we are available on web. You can just, I would request you to browse us online so you will get to know about our club more. And we welcome all the Rotarians from here. In case you visit to India, do drop into our club. Please visit our club. And me and my wife, she's the first lady. I'm the president-elect for next year. And that's, thank you. And that's how I said we are visiting this place. My son has recently graduated. He has completed his PhD in electronics. He's a radio frequency guy. He is into micro antennas. So we came for his hooding ceremony here. And then that's how I decided I must extend and meet our Rotary family. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to put it across on record here. Yesterday I was in one of the projects with Rotary Club of Dallas. They have high regards for President and your club. They mentioned many a times, and in fact, I was in communication with the club over the mail, but they recommended you should visit this meeting, and I'm fortunate and lucky that I'm part of this meeting. I would like to exchange my flag with you, sir.
Hi, I want to introduce somebody that I just met, so I'm going to let him tell you just a minute about himself. This is Jim Dallas, is that right?
Hi, I'm Jim Dalal. I am with the Amman Capital Rotary Club in Jordan. And yeah, I just moved back to Texas, and so now I'm just, visiting you guys, and thank you so much for the hospitality. And, yeah.
I'm super honored to reintroduce Doug Ferber. Please stand, Doug. He is with the Good Life of Park Cities magazine, and I guess we're doing something right. He came back the second time, so please everybody meet him, and like to have you.
I'm going to join.
All right, sounds great. All right.
I'm pleased to have our son Christian here today. He's going in the 8th grade at South Lake Carroll. Go Dragons! And just got accepted in National Junior Honor Society.
I'd like to introduce my friend Jeff McKissick. He's a professional speaker. Also has a company called Defense by Design. Colleague, we work on a lot of projects together. The great guy, so make sure you say hi to him before you leave today.
I'm really excited to introduce Dr. Jerry Allison. He is the club president of Addison Midday, and this is actually his second time being club president. And anyways, he's a lot of fun. I'm really excited about their club for this year.
Thanks to all the guests for being here today, and would love for you to come back and possibly consider becoming a member of our club. Next up, I am going to share a new thing we're going to start next week. Try to inject some fun and maybe raise a little money for our local foundation. Jeff Sheehan and I both heard this from a couple different clubs from the district at the PETS meeting that do this. So next week, over by Lori, at that table, there's going to be somebody there selling raffle tickets. And so what's going to happen is $1 gets 1 ticket, $5 gets 7 tickets. You can buy, I know, big money. You can buy up until 12:20, and then right before we introduce our speaker, we're going to do a drawing. And if your number gets drawn, then we're going to have a deck of cards. And if you draw the ace of spades, you get half the pot. And if you don't, then it rolls over to next week, and next week, and next week. Now, one thing to keep this fair, the card you draw, if it's not the ace of spades, we're going to tear it up and it's not going back in the deck. So at the end of the day, it's to have fun, but most importantly, to try to raise some additional money for our local foundation that does a lot of good works in the community. All right, next up, Nolan Duck to do PCR Marketplace, and right behind him will be Holly with a quick announcement of next week's PCR.
Thank you, President Jeff. And if you're unfamiliar with the Marketplace advertisers, they're on the back of your hub. You can see these. These are the people that help support the production of the hub and keeps us informed about everything that's going on in our club. Today's Marketplace advertiser is Daniel DRABINSKI of Blue Crest Financial Alliance, a Mass Mutual company. Dan is the agency managing director of business and estate planning for Blue Crest. He heads up a team that does comprehensive fee-based planning for business owners and executives. His team focuses on protection planning, I should say, accumulation and development of strategies to maximize retirement distributions in the most tax-efficient manner, as well as long-term care planning. The team also has experience in legacy planning, charitable giving, and tax strategies. Dan and his team work with professionals in nearly all industries and age groups, but specifically focuses on clients who are working toward financial independence and simply need some help organizing and identifying any gaps or inefficiencies. In summary, his team helps professionals to identify potential blind spots. Now, I think we all could benefit from someone telling us what our blind spots are. I don't know about you, but I need that help. Anyway, and I don't know what kind of blind spots are they talking about, maybe financial. And develop solutions to build upon a solid foundation of protection, savings, and growth. Please feel free to reach out to Dan to set up a confidential meeting and see if his team is a good fit to help you and your employees closer to achieving your goals. So let's give Dan a big hand for his support of the Hub.
Hello, I am Holly Hollenbeck, your PCR Connect committee chair, and along with Michelle Brown, who's over there, we have set up our next PCR networking event. It is set for next Thursday, a week from yesterday, at Bistro 31 at Highland Park Village. Nice air-conditioned space set out for us, so come join us, get to know your fellow Rotarians, and have some fun with us and network while you're doing it. Thanks.
Okay, it came to the attention of someone who's really detailed and was digging through our Constitution. And they noticed that it said that our place of business was at Snyder Plaza, which is no longer the case. So someone on the board moved and the motion passed that we change the Constitution to retitle Article 3. And our members need to approve this. And it says, Article 3 needs to read, the locality of this club is as follows, the greater Dallas area, which certainly does a much better job of representing what we do around the community. It's not just in the Park Cities. So all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. And next up is past President Karen Farris with an introduction of a new member.
I am beyond thrilled to introduce Lynn Berman as our newest member of this club. For 15 years, I have known this woman, and I've been working on her to become a new member. I said, Lynn, you're one of us, you don't know it. You're Rotarian in spirit. You're just everything we are. Nothing. She goes to lunch one time with Happy Franklin, and suddenly she's filling out a membership application. So I have obviously lost my touch, but I don't care how she got here. We're thrilled that she's here. And she's going to tell you about herself in her new member speech, so I'm not going to do a lot of that. But I'm going to tell you a couple things she's probably not going to tell you because she's a very humble and unassuming person. Since she opened the door at Attitudes and Attire, 26,000 women have passed through, and she has left her imprint on 26,000 women. And these women are probably a lot like a lot of the people in this room. These women, the bulk of them were from good families, they're educated, they're professional people, and maybe they made one bad choice in their life, or maybe life made that bad choice for them, and they ended up going down a different road. And Lynn Berman's organization offers them the way back. So we are just thrilled to have her as a member, and can't say enough good things about her. And Happy, thank you for doing what I couldn't do. So.
Thanks, Karen. That was lovely. Thank you. So my name is Lynn Berman. I grew up in Wilmington, Delaware, and was raised in Wilmington, Delaware. When I was 9 years old, my dad took my brother and me to the prison system in Wilmington. My dad was on the board of directors. He told us if we did something bad, this is where we would end up. Harsh lesson for a 9 and 11-year-old. My eyes were opened. It was a harsh lesson for both of us. But as I was there, and I do remember this, I wondered if these men and women ever had a second chance in life. And fast forward, my dream was to change the world for women. And that was because of the way I grew up in a very dysfunctional home. And I wanted them to have hope. In 1996, my dream became a reality, opening the doors of Attitudes and Attire in the Dallas Apparel Mart. We opened with 300 square feet. Today we have 5,000. And we are in our 26th year of operation. Our first program was our core program, and that was really to help low-income women and women who have taken a wrong turn, helping them build their self-esteem. Our second program, a few years later, was our dental program, our Hopeful Smiles. I don't know if there are any dentists here today, but a lot of you do donate your time to help our women develop a smile. Then came Boots to Heels, and that is our female veteran program. We serve female veterans and spouses. And I think I may have said this before. My husband was a World War II veteran. And so these women have really changed my life by the fact that we can help them get back into society. After that, our latest program is the Spanish-speaking program. And we have 2 women on our team who are bilingual. They have taken our workbook and they have translated everything into Spanish. I have always been of service and been interested in volunteering and finding a fit for myself. I believe in giving back. Starting in 2002, Park City's Rotary has been so generous with monetary donations to all of our programs, and you all do so much for the community that I wanted to be part of this organization. So here I am, I'm ready to serve. A special thanks goes to Karen, and also to Ed Feuerbach. I don't think he's here today. These 2 friends of mine have really helped me move forward and keep on going with Attitudes in Attire. So I'm very honored to be a new member of your organization. Thank you.
We have a, there's going to be a test next week.
Oh my, I'm not
So
here
you're going to
next
read all
week.
this stuff? Oh, you're not going to be here
No,
next
I'll
week?
have 2 weeks.
Oh, you can do it online.
Okay. Oh, okay.
But anyway, this would be your red badge.
Okay.
And then after you come, it tells all the things you need to do, and once you've completed them, then you'll get a permanent badge.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're so glad you're here. You know, when you were speaking, I don't know if you know this or not, but our Rotary International president has certain themes that she, you know, is important to her. One of them is empowering girls. And her kind of her meme or comment is that if you can empower the girls, then you're going to have empowered women.
Yes.
And when you said that, it made me think of that.
Oh, thank you.
We're
Thank
so
you
glad you're
so
with
much.
us.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here. Appreciate it.
Next up, for those of you who were at the awards banquet, you notice we had a few awards we weren't able to give out. So past President Karen Farris is going to come up and do a couple of special awards.
Well, we're still trying to give away these awards. And I thought I was going to be giving away 3 today, but we're doing 1. So you may be hearing from Fred Brown and I throughout the whole year before we get this done. But anyways, it's always special to recognize people within this club with these awards. And today we're doing a very special award, and it's the C.C. Colley Distinguished Leadership Award. And it's presented to a club member for exceptional leadership, both at the club and the district level, and it honors the leadership of our own C.C. Colley, who served our club at Rotary International in many different capacities and who's with us today to help us with this presentation. We're just honored. Our 2022 recipient joined joined this club in April of 2020, but actually has been a Rotarian since 2012. Her sponsor was, guess. Happy Franklin, wow, imagine that. Classification, our recipient is an attorney with 25 plus years, member of the Nebraska Bar Association. She has 2 children, a 23-year-old daughter, Catherine, and a 20-year-old son, Nathan. She was originally from St. Louis, and our recipient is a Creighton graduate, including her JD. Prior to moving to Dallas, she was director at WorkFit, an occupational medicine and medical legal consulting firm. She's a published author of 18 articles in her field and a book published in 4 countries. Today, she's employed by Marsh McLennan, where she manages a risk management team in Houston. Our recipient is a former member of the Suburban Rotary Club of Omaha, where in 2017 and 18, where she was voted Suburban Rotarian of the Year. She chaired a community service project in Omaha that was voted the best in the district out of 42 clubs. This project provides shoes, socks, and health care to the homeless. In 2022, she will be chairing a similar project here in Dallas at our club at a major event, and you'll be hearing more about this during the year. Since becoming a member of RCPC, she's been actively involved in PCR Connect, in fact, you just heard from her, Legacy of Leadership, and the Bonton Foods Packing Project. In 2021, she was a district membership director and spoke to Rotary clubs about membership involvement. She also provided membership programs at the district assembly, and pets. You know, while other awards that were presented last week honor our club's participation, this award recognizes a club member who served in that leadership role within our district, and our recipient has done just that. It is my privilege and honor to present the 2021-22 C.C. Colley Distinguished Leadership Award to our fellow Rotarian, Holly Hollenbeck. And Holly, for this presentation, you and I are going to go down to CC, okay?
I'd have to say, I'm completely shocked. I heard that Nebraska bar, and I was like, oh, who else went to the and then she starts going on, I was like, oh, wait, that's good that we accomplished our purpose. Surprise. Okay. Where are my photographers? CC, I'm going to let you do the presentation. Right behind you.
Congratulations, Holly, well deserved. Next up, we've got past President Happy Franklin with a quick announcement.
Past District Governor CC, we are very thrilled to see you today. And it's our understanding that up until now, a club banner, a district banner has not been named in your honor. And our club wanted to make sure that your name is on a district award banner. We were honored with receiving the District Most Fun Club Award this last year, and the district didn't have a banner made for it. So we had the opportunity to have the banner made and have it listed in your honor. We really appreciate your service and are so happy to see you. Thank you.
Next up, William Taylor is going to give us his membership minute.
Just 1 minute? Whatever I need, that's awesome. But let's just keep it to 3 shout-outs, so it'll be short. Tom Swift, the first member of this club that I met. I was on my job at People Newspapers just the first or second week, and was working our booth in Snyder Plaza for the Christmas tree lighting, and right next to us was the Rotary. And Tom Swift and I met him right then, told my editor at the time, hey, we need to get to know these guys. They probably occasionally have really cool speakers, and maybe they'll invite us. Of course, I didn't know this club had really cool speakers every week. So, thanks, Tom. Cleve Clinton. He just about every year invites Pat Martin to be on the Grand Marshal Committee, hoping to get more female representation on the committee. And she, not realizing that's his motivation, asks if she can send me instead, and he graciously says yes. And I tell you, it is a really cool process to be part of as the committee really thinks about who should be on, fill that role, and kind of really not so much debates, but kind of talks aloud until consensus is built. And it's just really impressive to see, that kind of leadership coming together for something that really is meaningful to the club and the members of that. And then my third shout out is for the late Stan Wright, who would frequently get up here and invite us to participate in what I view as a miracle. Imagine with me, you get bankers and lawyers and financial advisors, even a newspaper editor and others, to graciously submit to the supervision of a warehouse worker at the North Texas Food Bank. And have a great time doing it. There's music and everything. And at the end, we have fed or provided meals for thousands of North Texas neighbors in need. Let's be sure in the year ahead to continue honoring Stan's memory and showing up for that great event. Thank you much.
Thank you, William. Now I'd like to ask Past President Greg Pape to come up and introduce today's speaker.
And as we approach that introduction, President Jeff, I'm going to ask Richard Stanford to come up because we're going to slip this past president know the word of admiration and respect. Because our past president, Richard Stanford, joined our club as far back as January 2008 and is a staunch contributor to the Rotary Foundation. And to date, Richard has attained an 8th level contribution and on his way, no doubt, to becoming a major donor. 8th level contribution. Got to put the plug in there. Thank you, Richard. Our pleasure and delight to introduce Bill Dendy, who joined Rotary in 2000 with the Rotary Club of Dallas. He served as district governor in 2016 to 2017 fiscal term. During his term, North Texas Rotary, Bill led our Rotary zone in membership growth, public image, and including the District Rotary Foundation, which grew overall in contributions by over $1 million. Bill continues to serve Rotary as our 3-year district representative for Rotary's International Council of Legislation and our district foundation chair. Bill is a major donor, a member of the Paul Harris Society, White Hat Society, and the Bequest Society. That's making all the bases. In 2012, Bill earned Rotary's highest honor with the Service Above Self Award, which only 150 Rotarians per year are able to earn worldwide. Please let's welcome past District Governor Bill Dendy.
Thank y'all so much. It really is great to be here. And the fun banner, CC Colley, so cool. How many of y'all participated in Reilly back when our district did Reilly? Anybody here Reilly graduates? What classes were y'all? Like 15, 12, 20? I did Reilly class 3 with CC Colley. And it was at that class he said, Bill, you might want to really consider doing some more work for Rotary. We think you could do some good here. And he talked to me like a preacher would talk to you. He sits down and you can't say no to him. Well, 5 years ago, Beverly Grogan asked, could I be on her governor team? And I'm so grateful. I mean, when they ask you to participate, it's like very complimentary. I'm like, what would you have me do? She said, well, I'm going to come up with this new thing, and you're going to be the director of it. I'm like, really, a new thing? She put me on as a director of fun for the district. And I didn't know if that was a nice way of saying, we really don't want you to do anything, so we're just going to put you over there in the corner, or what. But then the next year, they came out with the First Fun Award. And I'm glad that the whole thing comes full circle with the banner finally being dedicated. CC, it's so perfect. So it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to see y'all having fun together. I love this club because y'all seem to really enjoy each other's company. And I say that it sounds, every club should do that, but it's not that way everywhere. Our Friday afternoon should be the thing we look forward to. No matter how crazy bad the week is, we should be looking forward to getting together. And y'all seem to really do that. And so y'all got a lot of good going on. And I love this organization because we do a lot of good. And some of this good is for each other. But beyond each other, we're taking care of our community. We're helping those who care for the community, who have a heart of service. And we are lawyers and CPAs and, gosh, what else are we? Real estate moguls and warehouse workers. We don't do this in our everyday world, but we're able to get together and do some good on something that's worthwhile that none of us on our own could do. We come together and do big things. I love what this organization stands for. We do good work for each other. We do it here locally, and we do it internationally, worldwide. 70-something plus years in India. And by the way, I was supposed to be going to India in November, but that Omicron or Delta variant shut that down. And so I'm going to India next month, and I'm going to invite all y'all to go in December. So y'all see that up here. Because I believe in having some fun. How many of y'all like to travel? Anybody like to travel here? Most of us, really? I mean, my dad was one who didn't want to travel. He said, but my mom could go, and I took my mom to Hawaii. I've taken her all over the world. I love going places. Most of us do. I tell you, it's one notch better when you go someplace and you do a little good work when you get there, when you see the impact you can have in local communities. And so today, I've got a ton of foundation stuff to talk about. But that's not where our hearts usually are, and I think most foundation talks kind of miss the mark. And y'all are so blessed. You got Greg Pape here doing foundation. You've had other people here who are strong on why do we give. And we give to our local foundation, and we give to the RI Foundation because we all have these goals that we support to do good work in the world. And y'all are the big givers. And so I've got all the slides, but I just wanted to express a few things to y'all. And so where's the clicker? There it is, right there. Does that work? No. Oh, no, it worked 5 times over. All right. So when I was thinking about coming to see y'all, I'm like, well, what would y'all want to hear about? And I said, well, this is 1 or 2 things. And they got longer and longer and longer. We're not going to have time to talk about everything. But you do have people who care a lot about this stuff. We could talk about it. And so the things I do want y'all to be aware of is, number 1, our foundation is the heart of our organization. Y'all are here because you believe in something bigger than ourselves, something big for the whole world. And the way we're able to support the work being done beyond what we do here is through our Rotary Foundation. So number 1, we are blessed to have this foundation. And y'all are good givers. You're natural givers. Every time we put the call out, Park City shows up and gives. I'm grateful for that. But I want y'all to know where it's going to. And I also, number 2, would like for you to know, how do we get the money back out? Okay, so we support our goals. Number 2, Rotarians are a blessed district. Y'all are big givers. Number 3, we've got a foundation team that's done some good work. I want you to see the good work that's been done, and we're going to talk about the work to be done. Boy, this is already boring, isn't it? Number 4, how do you get the money back out once you put it in? Y'all do really good work. Y'all are going to be able to get more out for district matching grants in the past 20 years because we changed the formula to make it a bit more fair to larger clubs that are bigger givers. And so we're going to get every dollar that the district gets back for district grants back to you to put to what y'all are doing already. That means yeah, I know, it's really, really good news. And politically, that was a really big deal and hard to do. You'd think that the right thing would always be easy, but there were a lot of people who liked to not change anything. So getting that change this year was really phenomenal that everyone came together to do that. I'll show you how it works. But then beyond that, I understand y'all like to do some more global projects. How many of y'all were here last week and saw that project on the water wells? Yeah, anybody buy any of those origami thingies? I thought it was kind of cool. I don't know. I read about it, didn't get here. I thought, hey, that's kind of cool. But we do work all over the world. We're going to talk about how do y'all do global grants? How do you get the global grant money? And how do we multiply what our foundation here can do globally? So getting the money, and then the travel with Rotary. I want y'all to see the good work we do. You know, this year, our district conference is on a cruise ship. Yeah, I know. I'll talk to you about this cruise. This cruise is, some people love them, some people hate them. But what I like about it is for less than the cost of renting a hotel here, for less than the cost of going to some place that's not a big deal, and maybe the cruise for a lot of you is not a big deal either, but we can have 7 days with all the meals, with all of our meeting space, with our AV, and we can go to some of the countries in the Caribbean that we help out, some of the islands that we already are working at, and see the work we're doing. So it's travel and do some good work. And there are opportunities for the club to participate in this. And the cost is like $700 per person all in. I can't eat 3 meals a day in Dallas for $100 a day. For $100 a day. So I told my wife it costs us money not to go. That's what she tells me about the cruise ship. I don't know. So I hope some of y'all do that. But beyond that, that trip to India we're talking about, I'm going to show you this trip that is phenomenal. For those of y'all who'd like to go see India with a group that can show you India, people who live in India, who will welcome us and then show us the work that they've done. Phenomenal. And so I hope a few of you can take off the time in December to travel and see the work we've already done in places and then get some concepts of what more we can do. Now we'll start off in, well, you'll see. We'll do Delhi, we'll do north, then we'll go through Bombay, and then we end up in Kerala, southern area, where we've done a whole lot of work. And I think for those of you who say, I don't even know what you're talking about, that's another part of travel that I like. The history, the geography, and the people, and the food. The food is so good. And then finally, I'd like to talk to you about how you continue to help out. A lot of y'all are already involved in regular giving to the Rotary Foundation. I appreciate seeing the numbers and the dedication, and you just do it on a regular basis. We're going to talk about the Paul Harris Society. Do y'all keep track of the Paul Harris Society, Greg? We have 15 in our club. Y'all all know what Paul Harris Society is around here. So I can just kind of skip over that, right? No. No? Okay. And so, all right, Paul Harris Society. It's a commitment of $1,000 a year. What is that a month? $83 and blankety-blank cents. I remember 15 years ago, and back, by the way, when I started in Rotary, it was over 20 years ago now. I was younger. Oh, that's stupid. We all were, weren't we? 20 years ago. But I joined the Rotary Club of Dallas, where you were yesterday, first club in Texas, a very proud club, who lately they're getting along with everybody a little better than they used to. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but they did send our honored guests to Park Cities. And I like that part. But I joined the Rotary Club of Dallas, and I was like the youngest person in the room. It was a 100-year-old club, and it looked like the original members were still there. You know? And when you join, they suddenly want to put you to work. They're like, hey, you're a young person. You should do this and that and that and that and that. As we talked about CC, I never wanted to say no. So before I knew it, I was doing the newsletter, and I was doing the Interact, and I was doing everything they thought a young person should do. But I can remember not having any money. And I was starting off in a career. And I didn't come from we grew up in Lake Highlands, but we didn't have big money. I went to Lake Highlands High School. I went to the University of Dallas on a scholarship. Then I went to SMU Law School and Business School. And I worked my way through school most of the way. And when I graduated, I had to work. I had to go build from nothing, and I didn't have a lot of time. And so it was hard to keep saying yes all the time. Yet I can remember that we had this past foundation chairperson, Bill Perryman. Anybody here know Bill Perryman? Perryman Financial? Great guy, who came out and he said, Bill, it only costs you $84 a month. I mean, don't you think what you believe in with Rotary is worth $84 a month? And I thought about it. I'm like, I'm not sure I've got income every month, but I do spend $84 a month on dumber things. And if I just put it on the credit card, I can stop it anytime I want. So it was about 15 years ago, I joined the Paul Harris Society. And every so often I've had those moments where I'm like, okay, do we need to cut back here, here, and here? And I've never cut back on that because I am a believer in what we do. And the good Lord's blessed me in so many ways. I did sell my practice 2 years ago, and now I'm looking for my next gig, so I don't know what I'm doing next. But I find that those who make a commitment to it, do it automatically, it's doable. So I would challenge y'all to do the Paul Harris Society, and don't be afraid of it. You can stop it if it feels too much. And I know a lot of you say $1,000. That's almost insulting. I give more than that, Bill. Okay, keep giving more. But I would love to have 100% Paul Harris Club in our district someday. And I think it's doable, but it is a lot of commitment. So that's Paul Harris. That's all I'm going to say on it. And then finally, I was going to talk about the Bequest Society. And as you can see, my slides, I'm not going in order because that's just not the way I think usually. I'm kind of messy in that way. But Bequest Society. Do we have anybody here who's a member of the Bequest Society at this point? Like 3 or 4 of us? 5, 6? Okay, I'll say help with the hand. Yeah. I find that very important and near and dear to my heart lately because y'all may recall that we lost Beverly Grogan in December. And I was with her every day for the last 2 weeks of her life. And she was a phenomenal person. Had no children, was not married, didn't have real close family. And what I saw was Rotarians became the family. They showed up those 2 weeks. It was, and in the past few days, it was a parade of people coming through. And it was during that 2 weeks, she said, Bill, you do estate planning work, right? I'm like, yeah, we've been talking about this for years. You know what I do. She's like, well, I never did the work. Like, we've been talking about this for years. She said, I just didn't want you to bother me about it, but we need to do the work. Like, well, thank goodness you've got time to think, and are you sure you want to do it? She said, yes, because my heart is, I love these 8 charities, and I love my church, and that's where I want money to go, but right now I have nothing. And it surprised me. Totally caught me off guard that a past district governor who had a friend that does this for a living, who had it, we were doing it in that last 2 weeks. And she got it done. She became an Arch Comp Society member. What's that word? Posthumously. You know, some words that just can't even get out of my mouth. It's one of those. After she was here, she left over $250,000. She wanted to hit that mark because she said in life I couldn't do it, but I want to make sure I give the money where I know it's doing good work. And it still gets me because she gave to this organization over and over again. Y'all saw her as a leader doing the work at the front, but she always was a giver, and that was important to her. Well, I think a lot of people are just like that. She said she didn't want to do the work because she felt that was giving up. If I do the estate planning, I'm thinking about the end times. But she asked me to take her message out to the world and let people know, if you got a heart for it, do it. And if you have the typical I love you estate plan where everything's going to the spouse and then to the children equally, a lot of folks want to do the work where they give 90% to the children, 10% to their church and other organizations. So if you need help with that, that is something that we'll focus on. Bequest Society, I've got information on our Paul Harris Society, Bequest Society, and if you want to talk to attorneys to do it, we've got them right here in this room. It's just do it while you can. And Beverly said she was actually blessed to have had the time to do it. So that is the outline of what we're going to talk about for the next 2 hours. Now, Joe. Okay, as I hit the button, did you cut me off back there? Now, our foundation, even if you're not a Rotarian, for you visiting guest, it should be one of your favorite charities. It's rated top ratings by Charity Navigator, 4-star rating, and it's because we have people making sure the money goes where it's supposed to go. we have people on the other side of the world who are Rotarians, who are working with us, and a lot of volunteer dollars putting the money to work. And what almost anything you can think of, we can do through our Rotary Foundation. It'll fit one of those categories. Thank you, sir. Now, I took the foundation job. It's a 3-year gig a year ago. I finished the first year. And the first year was about getting things fair, making sure we get our money, making sure people understood how we can match the foundation money. I love that. But I also like seeing improvements on giving. This is our improvement on giving from just what clubs have given. And you'll see we did over $100,000 improvement year over year. More giving on polio, more giving on the annual fund. And it's the annual fund which is kind of special because that $376,000 that we gave comes 50% goes to the Rotary's World Fund, but 50% comes back to the district through district designated funds. And of that comes back to the district, half of it's used for local, half of it's used for international. And so the Rotary International is now giving us a 47.5% to district designated funds, 47.5% to the World Fund, and the $5 is coming out of operating expenses. All right. So some of the other things that I want to make sure that we got done this year was training. It seems like there are some special people who know everything about foundation. The rest of us don't. We only care about it when we need it real quick. And we don't want to go to the training. We don't want to plan our life. We have done 15 training videos. Here's a sample of the 15 videos so that you can find it anytime you want it. And so if you're in a class and you lose interest and you start looking at your iPhone and you're forgetting and you're not even paying attention to the class because it's not that important, but then suddenly you're filling out the application, everything's important, you can go back to the video and hear somebody provide it again. So we had the training videos online. I thought that was a big accomplishment for the year as well. We talked about the district grants and global grants. Y'all are great with district grants. Y'all have received $3,500 a year for the last several years. This year we received over $5,000. But beyond that, the global grants, which are our longer projects, we don't want to know all that. Y'all just want to know how the numbers work, right? What? Skip the video. Well, the video is great. Did y'all know I made videos for y'all's clubs 6 years ago? We talked about your mentorship program, and we put it out to the world. Y'all do so much. You have your own videographers now. North Texas Food Bank stuff, it's all over the news. But again, when y'all do foundation work, I'd love to make you a video. This video is introducing Cece Theophane, who did a lot of work in India. And the video lists 15 projects that they've done over the last few years, and he's serving as our Global Grants Chair going forward. And he's the one initiating a trip to India for us. Now, the cool thing about Global Grants is our formula is straightforward. No longer mystery. You want to do the work, you got the money, we're going to match the money. If you put in $10,000, the district will put in 120% of that, and Rotary International will match 80% of what the district puts in. We've got numbers that you can see the examples. Next slide, next slide, next slide. Just click right through them. Okay. For those of you who want to do the district conference, I have the sign-up sheets here. I would encourage you to get them. They already have more people signed up for next year's district conference than we've had in the last 3 conferences. The cabins will go quickly, and Royal Caribbean is saying, whoops, we promised you a price, and we can't keep that price because, you know, everything's gone up in cost. Fuel cost, food cost, so your next allotment's going to be at a much higher price. We still have cabins at the old low price, so if you want to go, pick this up today. Next, next, next. The India trip. Come on. Oh, we missed it. All right, so we had the slides on India. If you want information, it's on the district website. It's the 5th to the 20th of December. All transportation, airfare in India, all meals, all hotels, 5-star hotels, less than $5,000 a person. Because we're being hosted by a lot of Indian Rotarians. That's a whole lot. I know it's fun, it's exciting, I love it. Call me if I can be of service, and that's all I got. God bless you. Thank you very much.
A book is being placed in the McSHAN Elementary Library in your honor for speaking today. Thank you for coming.
Fantastic.
Really
Love the
appreciate
good work. God bless you.
it. Next week, our speaker will be Julie Percival, the Bureau of Labor Statistics. She's going to be talking about inflation. What good timing is that? By the way, at the beginning of the meeting, we were playing a video of the song Imagine by John Lennon. For those of you who weren't here last week, we did actually a video, which was really cool. But the reason we're doing that is Rotary International President's theme this year is Imagine Rotary. And she got the idea of Imagine from John Lennon's song. And so I thought it'd be a good idea to play that for a few minutes prior to our meeting. So that was the significance of that song being played. Next up, Patty Schaub's going to do the four-way test.
Hi, everybody. Another great meeting. What a great group. Please recite with me. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
I did wear a jacket. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome. I'm glad you came. Next week you're good. Thank you for coming so much. Yeah, thank you. Nice meeting you.
I'd like to have a photo with you.
Yeah, let's do it in front of the Rotary.